Greetings everybody, it's Christian here with you today from Cell Cymatics, and today I would like to discuss with you a prevailing assumption all throughout society that is really pervading the human mind, which is that of time being real. So the unreality of time is quite clear when you actually investigate just a little bit into your own experience, because let's say the only experience that you really have of time is past and future. But taking past, for instance, your own experience or your only experience of the past is through memory. But what is memory other than thinking and perceiving? So if you take a memory, recall something from, let's say, 5 years ago, well, are you able to actually go to that memory, to that past memory, to relive it experientially as if it is currently real? Or are you just recalling an image of it, almost like viewing a videotape live in your mind of something that you recall in a particular fashion? Because when you actually investigate, you see that all there is to the memory that happened 5 years ago is thoughts and perceptions arising in the present moment. So the past really is non-existent. And the future, in a similar fashion or manner, is really just you envisioning something that is not yet. It has not yet been. And similarly, your visioning of this, your thinking and perceiving of some future outcome that never has been yet, it is simply arising in this moment, isn't it? So with that, we can conclude that past and future, the sense of these, is not founded on anything except thinking and perceiving. But what I'm wanting to get to is this very common experience that many of you probably share with me, that as we've been aging through life, time seems to be speeding up, right? So this sense that time is speeding up, how does that coincide with time not being real? So my understanding that I've come to through my own experience and just going through life and investigating is that really time appears to speed up because of a lack of presence, primarily, and secondarily, it is because we lack novelty. So let's say you are a newborn baby, you're brought into this world, everything is new, fresh and exciting. So every memory that you create or generate in your early formative years will all be new and fresh in your mind. And this is why they're granted such significance that your mind has to focus on them in such a manner that they take up more memory space, if you will. And when a memory is granted this conscious space in your mind, rather than simply being unconscious and automatic, if you will, that is how it will seem to be longer lasting. So let's take, for instance, you go through your monotonous everyday life, you wake up at the same time, you brush your teeth, you eat the same food, you go to work, you go back from work. You know, it's just the same routine over and over. There's no novelty, there's nothing fresh and exciting in your life, just going through the motions, so to speak. And when you're living life in this manner, is it really any surprise that there's nothing for the memory system to latch onto and recall? Because you see, when there's nothing significant to hold on to and recall in memory, obviously your sense of the passage of time, based upon your belief of or the perception of the past, it will seem to speed up quite rapidly, because there's no real frame of reference here in these monotonous daily experiences, right? So really, as I see it, we have two choices to make to counteract this. If we want to get the most out of life, if we want to really savor as many moments as possible. And the first one, as I've touched upon, is to simply be more present in your life. And being more present, simply put, means to be aware that you are aware. So obviously we are aware of our daily experiences, and if it was so simple as simply being aware of our daily experiences, life wouldn't seem to be passing through our fingers like fine sand, right? So what we need to really recognize here is that we are not just aware of the experience that is arising in perception, thinking, feeling, and sensing. We're also aware that we are aware as the very awareness of this experience that is currently ongoing. So recognizing this, you invite this presence into your life. And when you stand in and as this presence of awareness that you are, every moment will hold such significance that it doesn't simply slip by as though it is something that just comes and goes, right? Of course, in moments, the experiences still come and go, but you see quite clearly that there's something here that is not coming and going. And with that, I would like to lead you on to the second implementation that you can make in your life, and that is quite simply to live a more extravagant life, a more exciting life, to really invite more freshness and novelty into your life. And this can really take many forms, and which form or what forms it takes for you is of course entirely up for you to figure out. I mean, this could be something as simple as, say, walking up to the girl that you've been having a crush on. Could be skydiving, could be tasting weird foods that you would have never dared to put in your mouth, right? I mean, it could be doing something crazy, something simple as walking barefoot if you've never done that before. Exploring new avenues of thinking that might give you new ways of perceiving life in general, just exploring things. You could also decide to make a surprise for someone, do something great for someone else, and have them really appreciate you, show gratitude, and that might really be a memory that you can retain in your heart and value greatly throughout your life. So you see, there's really a whole lot of things that you can do to make your life more memorable. And I'm sure that having these experiences which are meaningful to you or hold some significance to you are also things that will alleviate any potential regrets that you may feel at the time of death, which I know to be one of the most common things that arise for elderly people on their deathbed. And nobody wants to live a life of regret, right? Yeah, we all want to value our life, to put emphasis on what is really meaningful to us. And one way to do that is simply to take on this advice and really be with your life rather than just letting your life move along like a conveyor belt. You're not a machine. You're a living, breathing human being, right? So in a sense, you could even say that by implementing these two strategies or ways of perceiving life or approaching life, in a sense, you're actually extending your life by extending your memory through these new experiences that you're allocating into your mind. And quite literally, you are able to experience and be with every moment of your life in a vastly greater satisfactory manner. And you know, this is why I chose to name the video How to Become a Master of Time Traveling, is simply because time is not real. So if we insist on traveling through time, which in a linear fashion you could say that we are, well, being a master of it is really just recognizing that the emphasis you place on each and every moment is how you master life. And with that, much love to you all. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.